Hey lads, working on a set of carburetors, and I have come across a problem that I have not come across before, to the degree that this is anyway. Generally speaking, your diaphragm and the slide are supposed to be locked as one. As you can see with this, you can actually see that moving easily. I took a small photo of the worst one. I'll try and slide that in to into the video so you can have a quick look at it. But I can actually just do that and the diaphragm will just spin almost. So how do we go about it? Having talked to a couple of people, this small steel, the top of the slide, is only a fairly light section piece of tin, so we can compress that down. A couple of ways you can do it. You can either get an exact same sized socket and place over it so that it's, and then just give it a light tap with a small hammer. As luck would have it, your verniers have this small step here, so that allows you to go over the plastic and actually have that sit on the actual slide itself, so we can measure how far we've tapped this surface down. So that's just sheer luck that's worked. I'm just going to use my drill press because you can easily laden it up without hitting it with a hammer. So we're going to try that. My drill press has a hole in the center of the plate, so I can't use that. So I've just got just a heavy section steel. I've zeroed it out with a spirit level so that it's as flat as I can get it. And then we're just going to press down, because the bottom of the chuck is the same size as our slide. So we just, and this slide and diaphragm are buggered, so you don't need to mark it up, but you would mark it so that the divot on the locating nib on your diaphragm is in the right spot, which would be around here, so that your dot is in dead square in front of your pin, which is where it has to sit, so that when you turn it over, your locating nib is kind of somewhere here, but you would double check that with your carburetor body before you did this. But these are no good, so we can go ahead and just press, just for the sake of the video, as to how we go, how far down we go that we need to go, just to lock it to stop the diaphragm spinning. So that was not a great deal of a pound of pressure, but we can put that in. And we can see it's not really moved very far at all. But has it done any difference there? No. So we just put it down and we just wind it on until we think it has moved the tiniest little bit. It won't have to go very far. Just to see. So that has moved a bit. We're not really after a measurement, but we are after, so that hasn't really worked either, so we might have to start leaning on it.
My hand went over there and you had a hand.
So we'll just run with it. We're just gonna keep, we don't want to go too hard because you don't want to distort anything. It's just a matter of, well, that hasn't really worked at all terribly well. So we'll go to plan B. We'll use our size socket that is, so this is, I think it's a 19 or a 20. A decent solid chunk of timber. So we will drop that on a nice and square and just give it a couple of light taps and see if that does anything. Yeah, there you go. That's locked that up. It's locked it up enough that it doesn't turn, and that is all you're chasing. So there you have it. So the quickest, simplest way, yeah, a small hammer and a couple of knocks. It would be interesting to see if how far it's moved. Not really much of a measurement change. It's probably just changed the shape. So it's just taken that outside edge of that and just flattened the edge of that down. But that has locked that diaphragm in tight. That's all we're chasing. So if you do, that's just another thing to check on your carburetors when you pull them down. That number one, I didn't do on my great big video that we've done, although mine were tight because you play with them all the time when you're moving around. But I didn't notice them on the diaphragms. But just something else to check when you are doing your diaphragms and your slides. Kill it. Working on a set of carburetors, I have never seen a diaphragm spin on a slide so freely. All four of them were to a degree. This is the worst one, because you can actually just flick it with your finger. And the hole beside that was all over the shop. An enormous tuning issue.